The troops are marching onto the 1st Recruit Training Battalion Regimental Parade Ground, led by the 1st Recruit Training Battalion Band, commanded by Captain Walker. The history of Kapuka dates back to the Second World War, when it was a training camp for Army engineers. Following the war, it was used as a migrant camp until the outbreak of the Korean War. During this period, 2 recruit training battalions were established. This was later reduced to 1. Our present Blamey barracks were completed in 1966 at a cost of $5.5 million and are one of the most modern and well-equipped barracks in Australia. With the exception of apprentices, all Army recruits come to Kapuka. The course at Kapuka spans 12 weeks and is designed to instruct recruits in basic skills required to prepare them for their next phase of training. This parade marks the completion of their induction into the Army. The Parade Sergeant Major, Warrant Officer Class 2 Lewis, will now hand over to the Parade Commander, Captain Lindgren, who will post the platoon commanders and march on the Governor-General's banner.
Officers! Hey! Post! Right! Shoulder! Up! March on! Develop! Right! Present! Up! Escort to the banner. Present! Off! Right! Shoulder! Up! Order! Up! Right! Center! Ace!
On the left, as you look, is 14 Platoon, commanded by Lieutenant Knutz, Royal Australian Armoured Corps. The platoon sergeant is Sergeant Buttery, Royal Australian Infantry. The section commanders are Corporal Lawrence, Royal Australian Corps of Transport, Corporal Page, Royal Australian Infantry, Corporal Thomas, Royal Australian Signals. On the right is 16 Platoon, commanded by Lieutenant Cruikshank, Royal Australian Signals. The platoon sergeant is Sergeant Collins, Royal Australian Corps of Transport. The section commanders are Corporal Lewis, Royal Australian Infantry, Bombardier Johnson, Royal Australian Artillery, Bombardier Kraut, Royal Australian Artillery, Corporal Beaumont, Royal Australian Engineers. The host officer, Major Thompson, officer commanding Bravo Company, is now arriving. The reviewing officer, Colonel Herford, Commandant of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion, is now arriving.
Right shoulder up. Right general select. Present up. Right shoulder up. Shoulder up.
The reviewing officer, Colonel Herford, accompanied by Major Thompson and the Regimental Sergeant Major, Warrant Officer Class 1 McEwen, will now inspect the troops on parade. The troops will now march past in slow and quick time, followed by an advance in review order culminating with the reviewing officer being accorded a general salute. As the troops approach the dais during the march past in quick time, the band will commence playing the regimental march of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion, Rose Gloria. This march consists of two traditional folk tunes, Push's Glory and My Bonnie English Rose. The march was arranged in 1967 by the late Warrant Officer Class 1 Jack Parry, who before retiring was the bandmaster of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion Band. You are requested to stand as the Governor-General's banner passes your immediate front. Those in uniform should salute. Gentlemen should remove their hats.
Right. Turn. Up. Right. Shoulder. Up. Right. First order. Out. Right.
The reviewing officer will now present trophies to the most outstanding soldier, the best at physical training, and the best rifle shot of the platoons. The soldier best at physical training and the winner of the Physical Efficiency Prize of 14 Platoon is Private Gazardi, Australian Army Catering Corps. The best rifle shot and winner of the Skillet Arms Prize of 14 Platoon is Sapper Walker, Royal Australian Engineers. The most outstanding soldier of 14 Platoon is Sapper Bolson, Royal Australian Engineers. The best at physical training and the winner of the Physical Efficiency Prize of 16 Platoon is Sapper Carr, Royal Australian Engineers. The best rifle shot and winner of the Skillet Arms Prize of 16 Platoon is Private Burt, Royal Australian Army Ordnance Corps. most outstanding soldier of 16 Platoon is Trooper Hatcher, Royal Australian Armoured Corps. The next trophy to be presented is the Falling Plate Trophy. It is presented to 3 Section 16 Platoon. It is awarded to a section which achieves an above average standard of shooting at the completion of the challenge. The next trophy to be presented is the New South Wales Inter-Service Rifle Shooting Trophy. This trophy is presented to an individual from one of the 3 services for excellence in shooting. The New South Wales Inter-Service Rifle Shooting Individual Champion for 1989 is Sergeant G.W. Ryan, a member of the winning Army shooting team in 1989. The next presentation to be made is the Skill at Arms Award. The Skill at Arms Award is denoted by 2 crossed rifles worn on the left sleeve. To be eligible to wear the crossed rifles, a shooter must achieve 200 points or more. The Skill at Arms Award is presented to musician L. Jackson from the 1st Recruit Training Battalion Band, who achieved 206 points on the 4th of May 1990. The Australian Army Rifle Association introduced an award in 1986 to recognise the shooting achievements of members. There are 2 levels to the award, Distinguished and Merit, with a badge to be awarded for each. These awards are gained by accumulating points in specified matches whilst a member of the association. Points required for the awards are Distinguished, 80 points, and Merit, 40 points. A Distinguished Shooters Award is presented to Lieutenant Colonel Linwood, who amassed 81 points as a result of 14 plays in the Canberra Tri-Service on the 4th and 5th of May 1990. The next presentation to take place will be the presentation of cheques by Mr Gordon Braid on behalf of the Motor Trades Association to the Australian Soldiers Chapel Appeal.
Thank you. Soldiers on parade and Colonel Herford, on behalf of the members of the Motor Traders Association, the Wagga subsection of the Motor Traders Association of New South Wales, it gives me a great deal of pleasure on behalf of those motor traders to present some cheques collected from those traders towards the Kapuka Chapel Appeal. The Kapuka Army Camp and all those people out here make a big contribution to the motoring economy of Wagga, and the motor traders in return wanted to contribute something to the Chapel Appeal. And we see it as being a marvellous thing taking place in our community. So it's with a great deal of pride that I'm here this morning to present that, and certainly we'll be looking to carry on our association with Kapuka and with the Chapel Appeal as it gets further progression down the tracks. But thank you very much, and I'm certainly very happy to be here this morning. Thanks, Gordon.
Parade rest. Soldiers on parade. The band of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion. Distinguished guests, parents, friends, welcome to Kapuka on such a lovely autumn day. And welcome to the March Out Parade of 14 and 16 platoons. I'd like to make a special welcome to a couple of people this morning. And of course I welcome to the parade Mr Gordon Braid, who has so kindly and so generously donated in the vicinity of $3,000 this morning to our Chapel Appeal. Mr Braid, I hope that you would take back our heartfelt thanks to the Motor Traders Association and those people involved in the donations associated with those cheques. We certainly appreciate it, and we know that there is a lot of support from Kapuka to the local motor industry, but it is marvellous to see them respond in such a generous way. I'd also like to thank and also welcome to the parade a Mr Herb Crowley, representing the 10th Army Troop Company Royal Australian Engineers, who earlier this morning had made a presentation again to the Chapel Appeal, and it was from money that was collected by the company on Anzac Day. Although smaller in amount, I am sure the hearts were just as big in the donations given by the 10th Army Troop Company as it was from the Motor Traders Association. To both organisations, my personal thanks, the thanks of the committee, and of course the thanks of all the soldiers in the Australian Army to whom the chapel will be of great benefit. Thank you indeed. I had the great pleasure this morning also to present a number of shooting trophies, not only to those who had achieved the shooting excellence in the platoons that are marching out, but to 3 other members of the staff at Kapuka. It is a great opportunity that I take to in fact award them publicly, because shooting is the basics of what soldiering is all about. We spend a lot of time, almost from day one, teaching our soldiers how to shoot and how to shoot well. And I think there is ample evidence today that in fact we do a lot right, and that training is good, and that our soldiers can shoot, and some of them can shoot very well indeed. The awards that have been presented does demonstrate excellence in a particular trade. And to those I say congratulations, and I would like everyone else to look at that as a goal or as an achievement they wish to achieve in the near future. Well done, and keep up the good work. I'd like to address my first remarks to the parents and friends who have come to the parade today. First of all, thank you for coming. I certainly appreciate you being here, but then again I know that you probably wouldn't have missed it for the world. What you see in front of you is the result of about 12 weeks of fairly hectic, intense training. To be a soldier is demanding. It's a demanding job. To achieve that level, you need demanding training. And that training, to be worthwhile, must have demanding or very high standards. Those on parade today have achieved those standards, and they have done very well indeed. The course has been hard. I don't make any apology for that, because I've already said it's demanding. So the work they do is tiring, even to the point at some stages of being frustrating. And I know that you, as parents and friends, you have in fact, whether you understand it or not, have provided an enormous amount of support to these young men. You've given them the courage, you've given them the strength, you've provided the ear to listen to, or the letter to read when they needed it most. And I would suggest that without that support, there are many young men on parade today who may not have made it without that support. So I thank you very much indeed. You can certainly take a pat on the back, because you are part of the achievement that you see before you today. Thank you. I am sure you understand that the staff of both platoons, as any platoon in 1RTB, put in a lot of work in getting the young recruits to being the soldiers that they are today. They work extraordinary hours, much longer than the average in the community. Some mornings they're here at 5:30, 6 o'clock. They're certainly not gone from here until well into the night. And then they come back the next day and do it all again. They too have their frustrations. They too have their problems. But you see, as a team, they work so hard that in the end, they all come up smiling. And the team that you see in front of you is the team that they have nurtured from day one, the team that they have so trained in to such a high standard and with such dedication. And on your behalf, I would like to thank the corporals, the sergeants, the platoon commanders and all the staff in the platoons for the job that they have done and the achievements that they have made. Well done, and keep up the good work. I should also point out to you that this marks the end of only the first step in what should be a long and fruitful career in the Army for these young men. And I would encourage you to continue to give your support to these young men as they go through their IET, that is their initial employment training or their specialist training. That training will be hard, it'll be tough, demanding, all the things that they've experienced here. And so your support will again be required, and I ask that you give it so that these young men can realise their full potential in whatever trade or whatever job they've now been allocated. And I'd also like you to think about the Defence Force as a whole. that these young men are about to join. We're not a defence force that sits in the barracks and does nothing. We're not a defence force that just merely consumes public money and for no real return. You only have to look at the recent floods, the earthquakes, particularly the one in Newcastle. Have a look at the peacekeeping operations that the Australian Defence Force is involved in around the world at this very minute, and the possible likelihood of being involved in other sorts of peacekeeping operations in the future. I think you'll agree with me that our Defence Force is a very active one that spends its dollar very wisely for good returns. Part of that return is in front of you today. That's what we spent the dollar on here at Kapuka, and I think you can be justifiably proud, as I am, that I think that dollar is well spent. I say this in all sincerity, that if you like what you see and what we've done with your son, I would appreciate if you wrote a letter to Senator Ray, our Minister for Defence, and told him how proud that you are of the achievements of your son. I think it's worthwhile. He is a new minister, and the more letters that he receives from the people of the community who put him where he is, the better it is for everyone concerned. On the other hand, if you have any complaints, would you please see me? I won't guarantee I'll do anything about it, but I'll listen. To the soldiers on parade, your parade this morning has been a good one. Your dress and drill in particular has been quite outstanding. Your dress is some of the best I've seen. So a good performance. And I know that some of you had to work a little bit harder than others to make sure that it was a good performance this morning. But you've come up well, and I can tell you that it was a good parade. For the band of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion, you too have done a good job. The music this morning was well selected, and I think it makes a big difference to the parade when the music is one that is good to march to. It makes people feel good while they're on parade, and the contribution that you make, although sometimes difficult to judge in clear, precise terms, is always outstanding, and I thank you very much indeed for your contribution today, as every day. To the recruits on parade, this marks the end of your recruit training and you now go off and do your IET. We have trained you in the basic skills to be a soldier. They've been hard won, and you should not forget them as you progress through your army career. You will be taught lots of other things, but these basics should remain with you forever. The standards that we have instilled within you should now be the standards that you achieve automatically and not have to be reminded of them. Not only have we given you the training in your basic military skills, I also believe that we have given you training in lots of other areas that not only make you a good soldier, but they also make you a good citizen and a good Australian. I believe we've given you a sense of confidence that you probably never had before, and certainly confidence to stand now as tall as you can with your chest out, your chin out, and looking like a soldier. I believe that you have achieved a high level of discipline, a sense of discipline. And that sense of discipline is one of self-discipline. I believe we've also given you a sense of loyalty. Loyalty to yourself, to the team, to your family, to your Defence Force, and to your country. Don't ever forget it, because it is a quality that far too many people forget and is too easily overlooked, particularly when the going gets tough. And last but not least, if you put all that together, I believe we have given you a feeling of, or a sense of self-esteem that you've probably never felt before in your life. Be proud of what you've done, be proud of your achievements, because you've got there the hard way. Remember what you've done here and take it with you to the IET. It too is not going to be easy. But if you give it the 100% that you've given here, you will succeed, you will have a successful career in the Army, and Australia will benefit from that dedication to service. When I spoke to you when you first arrived at Kapuka, I told you there was only one guarantee, and that is when you got to the march out parade, you would feel 10 feet tall, the hair on the back of your neck would stand up, and you'd feel very proud of yourself.